I want to bring on a very special guest, Sahil Hudayar. He is the Prime Minister in exile of the East Turkistan movement. This is the group that represents many of the Uyghurs that are basically imprisoned in Western China. Sahil, thank you very much for joining us today on Descent into Hell, Life of the Chinese People Under the Chinese Communist Party.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Bannon.
Tell us for a second, the Uyghurs, here's what I don't understand about the Uyghur situation, is that the Uyghurs are practicing Muslims, they practice their faith, they are in concentration camps, they're tortured, and you can go into that. But why is it I don't see an uprising in the Muslim world of support for the Uyghurs and when there's, many of these groups like CARE and others jump on people in the West immediately when they're pointing out radical Islamic jihad and the problems that's causing for Muslims everywhere, Muslims in the West, Muslims in the Gulf, Muslims throughout the world. But when you have this obvious concentration camps and suppression and really murder of the Muslim people in China, there's crickets. Why is there something here I'm missing?
Well, the Chinese government, the Chinese Communist Party has effectively, bought the silence of the Muslim world. Muslim leaders have, received billions of dollars in loans or even aid from the Chinese government. So they're really reluctant to speak out for the oppression against the oppression of Uyghurs and other Turkish people in East Turkistan.
Can you tell us what life is like on a daily basis for the Uyghurs in Western China?
So for the Uyghurs in East Turkestan, over 3 million of them are currently in concentration camps, with a couple million more in prisons and labor camps. Aside for those in the prisons and the labor camps and the concentration camps, people on the outside live in constant surveillance. Every 500 meters, there's police checkpoints. Your phone has an app installed that monitors every little thing that is happening in the phone, so you have to be very careful. People are no longer able to even say, the traditional Islamic greetings, Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be upon you, with one another. They can obviously not talk about politics. Talking to people overseas is viewed as a crime. It's viewed as terrorism.
Real quickly, we got about 30 seconds left, and we have a tough time here. But tell us, there are concentration camps and prison camps in East Turkestan. I just want you to make sure that you're clear. Do you consider these concentration camps and prison camps?
Yes, there are concentration camps for so-called re-education, and then there are the prisons, which are for people that have been sentenced anywhere from 15 to life in prison, depending on the severity of the bogus crimes that they're charged with.
Sahil, thank you very much. We're going to get up your all your Twitter handles and everything like that so people can get more access to your writings and more access to your beliefs. He's the Prime Minister in exile of the East Turkistan movement, Sahil Hudayar. Thank you very much for joining us today on War and Pandemic, Descent into Hell. I want to thank you, sir.